So in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, near the end of the show, we're introduced to Captain Mutiny and his villainous crew. But in its Sentai counterpart, Gingaman, we're introduced to Captain Zahab and his pirate crew from the very beginning of the show. And there's always been a character I've wanted to talk about on Never Before Seen Power Rangers, and that is Steelwoman Shelinda. Now, Shelinda is the navigator and the second in command of the bad guys when it comes to Captain Zahab. And trust me, she's not the first big-titted navigator I've seen on a pirate ship before. She's the second. So, I'll give you a brief summary on Shelinda's backstory in Gingaman if you want to go in spoiler-free. So, Shelinda is one of the main bad guys. Like I said, she's the second in command when it comes to the main villains. And throughout Gingaman, she has a rivalry with Ginga Green. Why? Because he's able to best her in battle, and her whole motivation is to defeat Ginga Green in battle. And that becomes Ginga Green's main arc and main focus episodes, usually in Gingaman, where it's him facing off against Shelinda, or Shelinda trying to outdo him and destroy him through various ways. And I gotta say, their fight scenes in Gingaman are pretty freaking cool, especially the final showdown that the two characters have in the final arc of Gingaman. But Shelinda really does go above and beyond to try and get Ginga Green the fighter, even using emotional damage to try and get Ginga Green the fighter by creating illusions of his old fiancée, so that way they can finally have their showdown. And this was mostly so Ginga Green can acknowledge her as an excellent fighter, because, you know, I'm a woman, I can't beat you, stuff like that. But Shelinda does go all out to try and get Ginga Green to kneel and acknowledge her as the better fighter, and it's a really interesting arc that these two characters have throughout the show. Now, a lot of people wonder and speculate why Shelinda was never adapted in the Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, and one of the arguments I've seen made, and I feel like this is a valid argument for why it's made, is Shelinda was too sexy for Power Rangers, and I can kind of agree. Yeah, if they were to dub over the footage, there is a lot of cleavage and breast showing in those shots that would be hard to work around, especially Power Rangers, mostly aimed for kids, and American censorship is different to Japanese censorship, so that would have been a really hard workaround. But when Lost Galaxy started production back in the day, Gingaman was filming its special team-up called Gingaman vs. Mega Ranger, and that had a lot of the costumes and the suits unavailable, so many outfits from Gingaman were unavailable for Lost Galaxy. And until that movie was done filming, then Toei was able to ship out the rest of the suits to Saban to use for Power Rangers. So that's probably why we didn't see Captain Mutiny until much later into Lost Galaxy's run. Now, could Shelinda be adapted in the Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, or could they have done it? Debatable, because if she was part of Captain Mutiny's crew, she would have been introduced so late into the game, and not only that, most of her footage is fighting Ginga Green, so that would have been really hard to work around, because there's a lot of unmorphed fight footage, there's a lot of morphed fight footage, so there would have been a lot of difficulty working around her footage and trying to make it work. So I can understand why they skipped the character. They could have used the outfit on a different character, just maybe adjusted it so it's not that sexy, but I can understand why they skipped Shelinda in the end, because I feel like maybe that character wouldn't have worked with what they were trying to tell when it came to Lost Galaxy. I've seen a lot of people make the argument they could have made a character that was Captain Mutiny's daughter. That could have probably worked, but nah, I feel like Shelinda maybe would have had a bit of a struggle to get adapted into a Power Rangers villain in the end. But anyway guys, what do you think of Steelwoman Shelinda? Do you like this character? Do you not like this character? How would have you adapted this character into Power Rangers if given the opportunity? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. With that said, I think I'm going to bring this video to a close. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, take care, and thanks for watching. Bye!